A new god of destruction is announced. Xeno's palace. All the angels, gods of destruction, and gods of creation are gathered in the great hall of the almighty Xeno's palace. They were all called there for an important meeting, and they were waiting for the most important participants of that meeting. They arrive, Goku and Vegeta, accompanied by Beerus, Whis, and Shin. As soon as they arrive, everyone kneels, with the exception of Goku, who greets the supreme deities with total irreverence and is reciprocated by them in the same way. But Goku notes that, unlike the Xenos, the others in that place aren't as happy by his presence, and the Saiyan comments that everyone seems to hate him. Vegeta confirms this suspicion and tells him not to make things worse. Beerus scolds the two, ordering them to shut up before they were reprimanded, and he also orders Goku to kneel, and so the Saiyan does. Daishin-kan reveals that it's time to start the subject, and that only the candidates and their master should remain in the center, that is Goku, Vegeta, and Whis. The Grand Priest sends Beerus and Shin to the side of the others. After doing this, Daishin-kan starts saying that everyone already knows the reason for that meeting. That was a shutdown announcement, and at that moment, a god of destruction would be removed from his position, and who would take his place would be one of the mortals, Son Goku or Vegeta 4th. Goku, again without any reverence, gets up and asks why he and Vegeta were chosen, arguing that there are other persons more capable than them, such as Toppo and Jiren. But Daishin-kan explains that right now, Goku and Vegeta are the only mortals in the 12 universes who are receiving angel training, and this is a very important requirement to become a god of destruction. He also explains that Jiren, even though he's very powerful, is not being trained by his angel and his god of destruction, and Toppo will take Belmont's place in the future, and that's why he wasn't chosen. Goku is very dismayed to hear that. Vegeta, on the other hand, is resigned, saying that he's already accepted the possibility as a condition for training with Whis, and the Grand Priest is glad to hear that from him. Daishin-kan then proceeds with the proceedings by asking Whis, the master of the two candidates, to state his qualities and competences to assume the position as god of destruction. Whis begins to say that Goku is a very powerful warrior and was able to master Ultra Instinct, something that not even the gods of his generation could do. But on the other hand, he doesn't see any other qualities in Goku. The angel claims that his disciple is very absent-minded and is so kind that it comes close to stupidity. In short, with the exception of the fact that Goku is powerful, Whis doesn't see any other qualities in him to be a god of destruction. Goku doesn't like this very much, but what can he do? It's true. Now talking about Vegeta, Whis says he doesn't know Ultra Instinct, but he is learning Hakai and seems promising in learning the technique. The angel also says that, unlike Goku, Vegeta acts with intelligence and seriousness, and he possesses the ferocity necessary to be a god of destruction. Obviously, Vegeta is very proud and brags to Goku that he is better than him. After hearing this report from Whis, the master of the two candidates, Daishin-kan, proceeds by saying that now all the gods and angels must assess everything that has been said and vote on who they think should be the next god of destruction. And after the vote, the great Xeno will give his final decision. The gods and angels gathered to vote, and after a while, Daishin-kan already had the result. He announced that all the gods of destruction and angels voted unanimously, and with a score of 24-0, the one chosen by the deities was Vegeta. Of course, the Prince of the Saiyans teased Goku with this, and although he didn't want to become a god of destruction, he was annoyed by such disproportionate result. Daishin-kan, speaking to the Xenos, says that according to the decision of all the gods of destruction and angels, the one who should be chosen as the next god of destruction should be Vegeta. But the Xenos don't care what others say and choose Goku, leaving everyone at that meeting absolutely shocked. Very angry by this one-sided choice of the Xenos, Vegeta is about to protest, but Beerus, fearing an action from the supreme deity, scolds the Saiyan. Faced with the threat of the destroyer, Vegeta gives up talking and kneels down again. Understanding that he would be a god of destruction, Goku is very upset. But with no choice, he just asks which universe he will go to. That question brings the Grand Priest into the second part of that meeting, announcing which god of destruction will be deposed. He says that among the 12 destroyers, only 4 of them are doing a satisfactory job, which are those 4 whose universes didn't participate in the Tournament of Power. Jin from the 12th universe, Liquor of the 8th universe, Arak from the 5th universe, and Iwan from the 1st universe. With the exception of these 4, all the gods are at risk of being deposed. That's because the average of their universes have fallen too far, and some have even disobeyed the divine rules, acting in their own benefit. Hearing these serious statements from the Grand Priest, the gods are frightened. Daishin-kan finally reveals which destroyer will be removed, and the destroyer is Champa of the Universe 6. With the Grand Priest's revelation, Champa is apparently saddened, and not only him, but other deities as well, including Beerus. Daishinkan asks Champa to go to the center and to Fuwa, the Supreme Kai, to join him. When they do this, Daishinkan says that in addition to Champa's universe having a very low average, showing the neglect of him as a god, he also broke the realm rules by entering Universe 7 without the god's permission to collect the wish orbs. For these reasons, he is being removed from his post. Champa, apparently resigned, says he's been waiting for this, but asks what happens to him now. The Father of Angels replies that he will now lose his energy of destruction, and losing his divinity, he will begin to age again from the moment he became a god. And because he was the ruler of Universe 6, he could choose any planet in that universe to live his life as a mortal. Champa decides to choose Universe 6's planet Earth as his home, probably because of the delicious foods on the planet, and perhaps because it's a gift from his brother. Fuwa sadly says that he tried to convince Champa to work properly many times, but was always scolded by him. He ends by saying that it is sad to end up like this. Daishinkan tells Fuwa that because his life to be bound by Champa's energy of destruction, with the loss of the destroyer's divinity, he will inevitably die. Now your destiny is to return to the supreme planet of Universe 6 as a dead god. Like Champa, Fuwa accepts his fate. Daishinkan asks the Xenos to do the procedure, and so they do. With the removal of Champa's deity, a halo appears on Fuwa's head. Champa was no longer a god, and Fuwa was a dead god. This is the fate of the gods of Universe 6. Daishinkan asks Vados to accompany Champa and Fuwa back to Universe 6. She immediately complies, but not without acting out a false sadness at her former student's fate. And obviously, Champa unmasks his bad acting. When Vados is taking him and Fuwa away, Champa takes one last look at his brother, Beerus. After that, give a last look to his brother too, a discreet display of affection. After that, the Daishinkan concludes the meeting by saying the preparations for the formation of a new god of destruction takes approximately 24 Earth hours. Until then, all gods are dismissed. He instructs Goku to be on Universe 6's planet of destruction within 24 hours. Until then, he can do whatever he wants. After these closing words of the Grand Priest, all the other gods and angels go away. Only those from Universe 7 are left in the palace. The Xenos waste no time in going to Goku to ask him to play with them, but Goku kindly denies it, saying that he needs to go back to Earth and say goodbye to everyone, and even ventures to say that Bulma will prepare a party for him. Nothing pretentious about this Goku. The Xenos don't care. After all, now that Goku is a god, he'll be able to play with them for a long time, even whole centuries, right? Goku is a little scared with this affirmation and immediately makes an excuse to get out of there. Then they leave. Capsule Corporation. When they arrive at Capsule Corporation, Chi-Chi and Bulma are there, relaxing in the garden, and also Goten and Trunks are there having some fun. Goku is startled to see his wife there. When the two women reach them, Bulma is alarmed that they're back so soon this time, and seeing Beerus, Whis, and Shin, asks if Earth is in danger again. Beerus answers this question, saying he's there because Goku mentioned a farewell party. Hearing this, Chi-Chi asks who is leaving, and Goku decides to tell her the truth, revealing that he will be a god of destruction from another universe. After everyone's shocked, Chi-Chi faints. As soon as she received the news from Goku, Bulma called an emergency party, calling all of their friends, and everyone wanted to better understand what was happening, and also to say goodbye to Goku. It was only at night that Chi-Chi finally woke up. Goku immediately justifies himself, saying that he didn't want to be a god, but it was the Xenos who chose him. Bulma asks why he didn't deny it, and he replies that if he had, he could have been killed, or worse, the entire Universe 7 would be destroyed. But to everyone's surprise, Chi-Chi is starting to accept the idea, saying that at least Goku would have a job, and this time, a job that suits him better than being a farmer. Gohan disagrees with his mother, arguing that the work of a god of destruction is too cruel, and he doesn't see Goku doing such things. Beerus agrees with Goku's son, but says he couldn't argue with the decision from the great Xeno. Trunks questions his father if he lost to Goku again, but shuts up when he is threatened with a beating. Bulma asks Goku how he's going to destroy planets if he can't even kill his own enemies. The Saiyan replies that Daishinkan told him that a god of destruction's job was much more than just destroying things, and that he would see that. But he also says that he'll avoid killing people as much as possible. Gohan asks if Goku will work with the Supreme Kai, and he says he doesn't know, because Universe 6's Supreme Kai died when Champa lost his divinity. But Shin reassures him by explaining that Fuwa died because he had his life linked to the Champa's energy of destruction, but when the ritual to make Goku a deity was done, he would also have his life linked to a Supreme Kai. Goku, curious, asks how a Supreme Kai is chosen. Shin says that there are a few ways this could happen, but in this case, the Universe 6's Kaiju tree probably bore a golden fruit, which is probably why they've decided to change the god of destruction just now. Continuing with the interrogation, Vegeta asks what the Kaiju tree is, and Shin explains that he and all Supreme Kais, as well as the King Kais, belong to a race called Shinjin. Shinjins are all born from a divine tree called Kaiju tree. The common fruits of this tree give life to Kingo Kais, while golden fruits, which are much rarer, give life to Supreme Kais. Probably a golden fruit was born on Universe 6's Kaiju tree, which is why they're making this exchange now. Trunks is surprised that Shinjins are born from a tree, and he thinks that's weird, but Whis argues that it's much better than the way they're born. Such a comment provokes curiosity in Goten. After all, how are we born? Chi-Chi is furious with Whis. She probably hasn't had that conversation with her son yet. The angel apologizes for his inappropriate comment. Goku, still in the conversation about the birth of Shinjins, asks about what happens if a fruit is born rotten. Shin explains that when an ordinary fruit is born rotten, Makaios, corrupted King Kais, are born. And when a golden fruit is born rotten, a Makaio-shin, a corrupted Supreme Kai, is born. In all cases, these corrupted gods are sent to the demon realm, and they rule there. Shin further explains that they met a Makaio-shin a few years ago. That was Dabura. That is, he and Dabura belong to the same race. They obviously are in shock with this information. Beerus, strangely uncomfortable with this matter, interrupts the conversation, saying it was time for them to go. Ready to say goodbye to her husband, Chi-Chi asks if Goku will be able to visit them. Whis replies explaining that until Goku learns the basics of his role, his universe, and how to control his powers, he won't be able to visit them. But as her sister, Vados, is quite strict in her training, maybe that won't take long to happen, so he can visit them. That's if Beerus doesn't mind, of course. But for the Destroyer, whatever. Goten asks his father if he could go along with him to train. It's Whis who answers that question too, saying no. Mortals cannot stay long in other universes except in exceptional cases. But Goku comforts his son by saying that when he does return, he wants Goten to be strong enough for them to train together. Goten, excited, promises his father that he'll get stronger, so Goku ends his family's farewell by asking Gohan to take care of them. The firstborn assures Goku that he will. The next to say goodbye are the members of Goku's martial arts school. Krillin says goodbye, asking Goku never to forget his essence as an Earthling, and Master Roshi tells his disciple